Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Wednesday, June 16th. I am doing this show today. I will not be here tomorrow because I am flying to see my best friend in Chicago. You guys know, the one that ditched me for 4 months and then finally took my call. We're back on like Donkey Kong. That friend. I could not be more excited. I'm going to not be live, I think, for Thursday or Friday. Then I'm going to do a show on Saturday from there. And then I'm going to do a show on Sunday back here because it's just a quick trip. Also, in the world of rocks, I have some stories to tell you guys from last night. So that's always very exciting. Plus, we're going to talk all about Luca. I watched the new Pixar movie, Luca, that's coming out this Friday, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. And I have a ton of shit to say about that. Also, I realized that Loki, you guys watched Loki last night, so we'll save that towards the end, but we'll do a Loki review. And there's some free Britney updates. Always essential that we talk about free Britney. And it's been a minute on this show since we talked about free Britney. I'm about halfway through the Bachelorette episode too, so maybe I'll hold off on that. I know you guys are clamoring for my thoughts on the Bachelorette this season. I know. Trust me, I know my audience. I know what you guys like. And all of you guys, it's like DM after DM. Why aren't you talking about the Bachelorette more? Why aren't you talking about the Bachelorette more? The Bachelorette's the best show on TV. And I see what you guys are saying to me, and I will get there. Believe you me. Never actually fully understood that expression. Believe you me. Kind of strange, right? Believe you me. Really, it's believe me, you. Right? Believe me, you, person. Maybe it should be believe me, you. Believe me, you. No, it doesn't have believe you me. It's got the right ring to it. Now I'm wondering if I made up the expression altogether. It's just hard to know. Who's to say? Who's to say? Whatever you guys have going on in your lives, remember that support is that good, because I'm going to be off for the next 2 days. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. All that good stuff. Ryan Payne says, I just say, believe me, y'all. Yeah, that kind of works a little bit more too. That kind of works a bit more. All right, let's go into the super chat and the Streamlabs and see what's going on with my people, the rock stars. Alexander Wilson says, from Steph's IG, it looked like you were having a blast last night. Yeah, so last night was Lit City. It was really exciting because we have been talking to this venue, and Dorina knows the owners, and they had been shut down because of quarantine. And yesterday in California, the mask ban was lifted and the ban on how many people, the capacity was lifted. And so the place opened back up. And so we went and had one hell of a time. It was so fun. It wasn't like a wasted, drunk, debaucherous night as much as it was just really nice to be out with my girls. Brennan was there also, Dorina's husband, and a few of his friends, and Anushka, who helped us with a couple of the World Girls episodes. Steph came with her friend from childhood, so that was really fun. And it was just like live music, really, really fun, a really, really fun time. There was a taco stand in the back. And it was like, honestly, some of the most delicious tacos I've ever had. Was drinking Jameson on the rocks, and I feel like I've been such a tequila girl recently. On World Girl Wednesdays, a lot of times I'll do shots of whiskey, but it's been a long time since I've been at a bar and I've ordered Jameson rocks, which is like my go-to drink. So I just felt back in my element, listening to cool rock and roll music, not giving a fuck who was around us, just vibing on our own frequency, dancing hardcore, and it was a really, really good time. I remember that, like, I actually really like going out with my girlfriends and dancing, things that make you happy in life. And you kind of forget what those things are when you're stuck inside at home and your depression tells you that you'll never be happy again. And you're like, fuck, really? And then you go out and you do something and you're like, oh my God, I like some things. I actually like dancing. I'm a goofy dancer, but I love it. And I like drinking at the bar with my friends. I like being with my friends. I like meeting new people. I like listening to live music. I love rock and roll. I like cool venues. I like that shit. And it was nice to remember, like, oh yeah, I actually like things in life. This might be okay. We just might be okay, y'all. So it was great. And then, yeah, we did take that we made Brennan take a picture of us outside, and usually it's like I need 45 pictures, but it was one and done, and it was a great picture, and I was like, Brennan, way to go. It was really, really good. And it was cute to see because usually when I'm with Brennan and Dee, we're on set, and so he's very professional on set because he helps us with all our audio and whatever. And at the bar, because everybody's drinking, he was being like so romantic with her and cute and like touching her and stuff. And so I just kept smiling so big looking at them. And Dee was like, what? It's my husband. I was like, I know. It's just really fucking cute. They're just being really fucking cute. And you guys know I'm a lover of love. So yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about it tonight for the World Girls. For the World Girls tonight, we have a show at 6 p.m. Steph and Dee are both coming here. We're meeting at 3. We've got some big stuff going on down the pipeline, so we're working on that. And then we are going to be we announced it as giving Kahoot a whirl. What ended up happening with Kahoot is that we wanted more of you guys to be able to play. So for those of you guys who don't know, it's kind of a how well do you know the World Girls quiz that we have put together. And then you guys at home will get a code and you'll be able to play along. And so for Kahoot, there could only be 20 people who could play along. And we wanted more people to be able to play along. And there's a version where 100 people can play along, but it's $70 a month and you have to pay for a full year. So we didn't want to pay $1,000 for something that we were just going to use one time. It just made no sense. And also we don't have that kind of money. So instead we're using a different, I think it's called Slido, but it's easy. You guys just type in a URL and you type in a code that we'll give you. And it's going to be really fun tonight. And we're all going to be together and drinking and having a blast. So if you're not doing anything tonight, or you are doing something, but you want something better to do, go to youtube.com/theworldgirls at 6. We're going to be giving How Well Do You Know the World Girls a whirl, also known as Slido. I don't know if I can pronounce it yet. Going into the super chat, Alexander Wilson says, the guy on the bar that had his hands on your head, that was a woman, not a man. And I think so. And it was so funny because I feel like I manifested that shit. So we saw her jump up onto the bar. And for anybody who didn't see Steph's Instagram story, it was a complete onesie, but not a loose onesie, one of those spandex tight onesies that goes all the way over your face, kind of like Spider-Man. And so this girl jumps up on the bar in an all black onesie. And the second she got on the bar, I don't know why, I just turned over to Steph and Dee and I go, I hope she touches my shoulder. I have no idea why. I'm buzzing a little bit. And just for some reason, I was like, I hope she touches my shoulder. She starts crawling down the bar. And then all of a sudden, she just puts her hand on my shoulder. She didn't touch one other person. She puts her hand on my shoulder and kind of does a thing around my head. And I was like, I did that. I manifested that shit. And then she continued down the rest of the bar and she didn't touch one other person. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a manifestation queen. I fucking did that. That was crazy. It was just very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting stuff. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see what's going on in the world of you guys. Checking in on my people, aka the rock stars, aka you. All right, the first one coming through today on the 16th of June, coming in from John Eugene with that big support. Thanks, John. John says, since I won't be able to watch live getting ready for birthday celebrations, woo, I still wanted to thank you for helping me get through this past year along with all the rock stars. John, as I said, we might just be okay. We might just be okay. I appreciate you, John. You're a dear. And have fun with the birthday celebrations. Glenn Caesar says, rest in peace, Chris Burke, and love to Avery Burke. # 2 amazing rock stars forever. Let's go Smets and everyone fighting to smash cancer. I stand against anti-Semitism. I stand against Islamophobia. I stand against Asian hate. # stop AAPI hate. I know that Black Lives Matter. # BLM. Speaking of which, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Jonathan Mattingly arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all 3 of them, for killing Breonna Taylor. Hope today is the day just for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. # say their names. Hello and good afternoon, Roxy, and all your nicknames. Happy World Girl Wednesday. Thanks, Glenn. Sending well wishes and thanks for hanging out. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, Grammy and Papo. Yeah, one of the things I'm nervous about this weekend is the fact that I'm leaving Grammy and Papo for 3 days. But I talked to them and I talked to their caretakers and everything should be totally fine. Yeah. So, but I don't like being out of town. I just don't like being out of town when they're here and just, it makes me anxious. But I will, you're always just a quick flight away. So reminder to that. And hi, Grammy, if you're watching this, I love you and you're going to be great. Sending well wishes and thanks for hanging out. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, Grammy and Papa. Will be most excellent to yourselves and each other, RJ, Rockstars, and world friends. I know that I talk about meditation energies in my CP a lot, and that almost all of you can't truly relate, understand. That's true, Glenn. I get it. I also know that talking about my experiences makes them more permanent for me in my daily life. So thank you for indulging me. It's not indulging you, Glenn. Just because we can't get it doesn't mean we can't sympathize. Doesn't mean that we can't feel for you. Doesn't mean that we can't be helpful in any way. But you're right. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can truly relate and understand because I don't have CP, but I want to be part of your solution and part of your, not solution, but your journey. I want to be part of that. And so thank you. And thank you for that huge support, Glenn. I really appreciate you. You're always supporting me. And it's the least that the rock stars can do to support you back. You support every one of us. Glenn also says, I just wanted to say that I had a quick, spontaneous lower body spasm in meditation, in which my legs and feet were violently shaking uncontrollably for 15 seconds and then stopped. It was like healing love burst, like an orgasm without fluid release. Wow, that's wild. And now my legs feel soft. That sensation of a previously constant contracting / tightness spastically in my ligaments. Sorry, you guys know it's on multiple lines, muscles and tendons. It feels good to not feel so trapped in my own body and be a bit more free. Hopefully, prayfully, it keeps up. Well, we're all hoping for that, Glenn. Absolutely. Glenn also says RJ and everyone who shows up and gives their support whenever, however they can when it gets tough, even if by yourself, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You are a winner. You're kind. You're smart. You're unique. And showing up for people who need it and want it makes you brilliant. Being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers, whether it's on the internet or not, makes you humane and worthy. Your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. Cheers to finding fuck yeah news. What brings us joy? Yeah, I love joy. Smiles and laughter in each of our days, our weeks, our months, and even our years. May we all get to add those colors to our palette as we paint our mosaic of life every day for all to see. Glenn, what a beautiful one. And thank you for supporting and sharing and all of that all the time. We appreciate you. Jake Yakavetta in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStar says, has Grammy seen your IG post yet? Are you talking about the topless one that I posted today? I don't think so. If she hasn't commented, she probably hasn't seen it. Should we call her and ask? Let's call her and let's see. Let's see what she thinks. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna see if she's checked it out yet. I'm gonna tell her the rock stars want to know what you think. I don't understand why people are saying such weird things about it. Like, I'm in full-blown pants and the equivalent of a bathing suit top. Hi, Graham.
Hi, Del. How are you?
How you doing?
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you see my most recent Instagram recreation?
Yeah, with the sunglasses?
No, the one today. I did a topless one today, and the rock stars wanted to know how you felt about it.
Wait a second. You did one today with the sunglasses.
No,
right?
the sunglasses were yesterday, Graham. Keep up. Yeah, keep up with my Instagram.
Oh.
Today's was very was a little more risque, but I thought it was silly and funny, and everybody wanted to know what your thoughts were on it. So I said I would ask you.
I'll have to look because I look first thing in the morning.
All right. Well, I posted it in the afternoon. Okay. Well, I love you. I'll call.
No. Let me look.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll all just wait to hear from you, whatever you think on this. When I said I'll talk to you later. No.
I didn't know that Mommy had bought you sunglasses at that early an age.
I think they were like $2 sunglasses or something, Graham.
Okay. Is that a marijuana leaf?
Yeah, it is. It's funny though, right?
I must admit it is.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you like it. I've grown up a little bit, I guess.
grown up. So this is when you're, what, 4 years old?
No, that one's year 3. I'm 3 years old there.
3. Oh, the sunglasses were 2?
Yeah.
Because the sunglasses were the third one.
Yeah, but remember, my first one was me at 0.
Ah.
Yeah. All
So
right.
this is when you're 3.
Yeah, that's why it says year 3.
Aha. Well, there's that face that I know and loved and figured that you could never be without your bangs and black hair.
And now I'm a blondie with no bangs.
No bangs and a beautiful face. So, anyway, what comments have you gotten?
You can read all of them. They're all there.
I will read them right this minute.
All right, I'm going to go. I love you very much.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So that's the answer. Thank you for asking the question, Jake. I always try to provide for the people, and that's how Grammy feels about the picture. I'm so lucky to have a family that is so supportive in me and all of my strangeness, because who sent me that picture to recreate the photo is my brother. And you heard how Grammy reacted. So I think this is why when people talk to me and they're like, aren't you nervous about blah, 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 blah? I grew up in a family that like loves their bodies and life and just like being free and fucking people and being good people. So that Jake says, glad I sent that Streamlabs in. LOL. Anybody should feel that way about the Streamlabs I sent in, because I always try to provide. I'm glad you sent that one in too. Thank you, Jake, and thank you to everybody who's in here with their support right now, including Grammy, who I'm sure will watch this episode back because anytime she makes an appearance, she likes to watch. Very vain that way. Hitman Hudson in the Streamlabs says, very excited for Luca. Have you ever had a Whataburger? If so, I'm curious to know what you think of it. I haven't mentioned my dad being sick in a while, but my dad's tumor keeps shrinking, which means the treatment is working. Hitman Hudson, that's awesome. Whataburger is in Texas, right? If that's what it is, I think I tried it when I was there. I don't remember really thinking that much about it. So sorry. I'm glad you're excited for Luca, and I can't wait to talk about it. And I'm so happy to hear that about your dad. I'm really, really happy about that. Pink Sweets in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Star says, OMG, hi. Hi, Pink Sweets. I don't have social media, so I posted the photo of the beanie on the Discord. Oh, I can't wait to see it. I have to look. You can't see the logo, but I love it still. Since you're an amazing interviewer, when you become famous actors, who are you most excited to be interviewed by? Oh, interesting question. Yeah, Pink Sweets, we changed. I have the white on white beanie too, and I'm fucking obsessed with it because I think the logo is cool as shit, like where it's incognito. But because of everybody's comments, we did change it to have a black one. So now the beanie is white with a black one, but I like the white on white. I like them both actually though. Since you're the next part, who would I want to be interviewed by? Oh my God, because she's got her own show now, Drew Barrymore. I mean, obviously everybody wants to be interviewed by Oprah. There's nobody who doesn't want to be interviewed by Oprah because then you've really made it. But Drew on her new show, that would be sick. She's awesome. So, and then it'd be really cool to be interviewed by Maria Menounos because we've been close for so long. And if I'm ever famous enough that she wants to interview me, that would be so legit. I'd be V excited about that. So those are the answers. Della Common in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Star says, hey, Roxy, I'm recovering from one of those can't even handle light type migraines. Oh, that sucks. I'm glad to be feeling better, to be able to catch the show and hopefully World Girls tonight. Thanks for indulging my ridiculously dumb IG comment about marijuana pasties. Oh, I got you, Della Common. I'm so sorry to hear about your migraine. Migraines are the worst. I've been having really bad ones for the last like decade. I was gonna say whole life, but not when I was a kid. And just they're debilitating. Debilitating. Yeah, that's the right word. And you just can't even look at the light, and you just like can't hear anything, and it's so painful. So I totally feel that. Imagine the first person who ever got a migraine and didn't know it was a migraine. They probably thought that their head was gonna explode. That's what I would think. Fucking nuts. That shit's crazy. Anybody else who would like to show support or has a question, comment, concern, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Get them in now, get them in loud, get them in proud. You just never know what your Streamlabs could lead to, possibly another call to Grammy to ask how she feels about the marijuana leaves. These are the hard-hitting questions that we just have to get down to the bottom of. All right, let's talk a little bit about something that I'm really excited to talk about with you guys, because I finished watching Luca this morning, and oh God, it is so good. Pixar just wins and then wins again and then continues to win in a way that I'm like, wow, if movie making could be this simple, and I'm not saying it's simple for them to make these movies, but like if you have the right people working on the script and the right people doing the animation and the right voices, they just all should be this good, and they're just not. And Pixar has found the magic medicine, and it's just really, truly incredible. I didn't think this movie was going to speak to me that much, but it did. And at the beginning of it, I was kind of like, okay, it's just a typical animated, I get it. And by the end of it, I was in tears, and I was like, I'm holding them back, but they were starting to come, and I was like, wow, this is such a beautiful movie and a beautiful message about acceptance of different people. If you guys have seen the trailer, you know a little bit more about it, but really at its core, it's about people who are different than you and accepting them and not throwing people under the bus that are the same as you. There's just a lot of beautiful, beautiful messages in this that if I was a parent, I would want my kid to see this immediately, because I think that this does better parenting than some parents do. It's just so poignant. On IMDb, it says the log line of this is, on the Italian Riviera, or the description, on the Italian Riviera, an unlikely but strong friendship grows between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human being. And yes, that is, I guess, at its core, I guess by definition, that's what's happening. But really what's happening is something so much deeper and so much more beautiful about people who feel like they can't be themselves because they won't be accepted. So they have to disguise themselves as other people. And then just how we deal with that as society. I think that there's a lot of talks about whether this is supposed to be a analogy or a metaphor for being queer. And the fact that this is coming out during Pride Month, and there are so many things that I took away from this, that where nobody is explicitly queer in this, nobody is openly, like, it's not talked about. I do wonder if a lot of this is about being gay. I'm not sure about that, but it does feel like that. And then also a lot of other minority groups that I feel like can really relate to this and understand, and the feeling of being hated for no reason for something that you're born with. It's just really well fucking done. Really well done. Incredibly well done. Jacob Tremblay's voice was phenomenal in this. Jack Dylan Grazer, who I love from Shazam. Sacha Baron Cohen did an awesome job too. Maya Rudolph. The guy from Grey's Anatomy, who I love, Giacomo, he was in this as Giacomo, so that was really cool to see as well, or to hear. His voice is so different on Grey's than it was here. And yeah, Jim Gaffigan, a lot of really, really talented people working on this. And Sandy Martin, yeah, it was phenomenal. It was excellently done. And I don't think I could have asked for a better morning by watching this. So Luca, yes, this is such a yes for me. This is such a win for me. And I think that you guys are going to like it. It comes out on Friday. I think it comes out on Disney Plus. It probably, it's streaming on June 18th. I was going to say it probably was in theaters, but I don't know if it's actually going to be in theaters. Just says Disney Plus original movie streaming June 18th. So yes to this. So freaking cute and poignant and beautiful, and also looked amazing. The water scenes were really, really cool. The land stuff was really cool. Italy was great. I love Italy in general. Was a really big fan of this. So that is how I feel, and I hope you guys like it. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it has a 90 something on there. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. But it seems like this one is just another straight up hit. And it's like, wow, Pixar, damn, my dudes. Y'all just fucking do it right over and over again. It's just truly wild. If you don't have anything going on this weekend, this is the jam. This is the jam. I mean, I wish it's what's so hard is we're gonna have to do a spoiler review of this, I think, because I wish I could tell you guys specific parts that I'm talking about. And not that spoiling a Pixar movie is the most insane thing. I'm not going to do it, but it's not like, holy shit, there's this the big reveal. It's not like that. It's just more along the lines of when I'm talking about this and like the specific connections and stuff, I feel like it's one of those you have to see it to feel it. I know a lot of movies are like that, but this really feels like a in order to really understand what I'm talking about or the nuances of this film, you just got to see it and then we'll talk about it. So you guys let me know when you see it and then we can discuss and break down just my favorite parts and moments and things that I think were really worth talking about and writing home about. In the meantime, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer as we talk a little bit about Free Britney. This is something that I wanted to speak to you guys about for a while, and there hasn't been much new information, so there hasn't been that much to talk about, but on the show, prior to there being the documentary and prior to, we've been talking about Free Britney for a long time here. I don't say that to toot my own horn. I just say that to say I've been dialed into the Free Britney movement for years now because it is so fucked up what's going on with Britney Spears and her conservatorship. And now it's finally, I feel like, being brought to light. And something pretty huge is taking place that I wanted to share with you guys because in 1 week from today, Britney Spears, for the first time in the conservatorship, is actually addressing the court. So that's going to be something that we certainly will be talking about here live at the Roxy. So Britney Spears, who has not been allowed or able to speak on the matter, is actually going to be able to speak. Now, what kind of restrictions or what she will feel comfortable saying is a complete different problem. But the fact that she is in court going to be able to speak on her own conservatorship is a really, really huge part of this movement. So that's 1 week from today. So next Wednesday. And I already know what we're going to be talking about on that show on Wednesday. So a lot of tweets going around. Hashtag Free Britney obviously being the main hashtag, but hashtag Britney Speaks is the main hashtag for this movement right now. And I can tell you guys a couple of things that people are saying. A girl named Lauren said June 23rd. I hope she gets to say everything that's on her mind and that this opportunity isn't sabotage. We're ready and behind her every step of the way. I feel the same way as a girl named Lauren does here because it's not like her being allowed to speak gives her free reign on what it is she does say, but hopefully it's not being sabotaged and she is able to speak a little bit. So yeah, and I think that the fans, the me's of the world, the user guys of the world, done such a great job of not letting people forget about this. It's always trending. People don't want this to just slip by because when we don't have our freedom, what the fuck do we have? And she does not have her freedom and hasn't in over a decade. And it's really concerning that this is the way that this country has dealt with it. And I feel like she is the face of a movement because she's not the only one in a conservatorship like this. And the way that conservatorships are done can be a huge problem, but especially in her case where she has as much money and as much fame and as much notoriety and works as many hours as she does. It's really wild. It's really wild. Pausing on Free Britney for a second, I will say Grammy just commented on my photo and said, I must say that I had to laugh. After all, when you see a thing of beauty, you don't cover it up. Grammy, you can't post the nipples on Instagram. This we know. But I like her comment. It's really good. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Free Britney and hashtag Britney Speaks. I cannot wait for a week to today. We will definitely be looking out for this. I know you guys will, but in case it slips your mind, it will not slip mine, and I will fill you guys in on what happens as Britney Spears opens up and speaks on Free Britney. Any questions, comments, concerns, support, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. I want to hear from you. Who do I want to hear from? I want to hear from you. All right, moving forward. Let's talk a little Loki. For those of you guys who did not see Loki, we'll start with just no. We kind of gotta get into spoilers. All right, this is gonna be Loki season 1, episode 2, spoiler review. So for anybody who's planning on watching it who hasn't seen it yet, sorry, my friends, now is time to bounce. I know that it's a little early into the show, but at least you got a half an hour of Luca and Free Britney and me going to Chicago and going out last night with the girls. And of course, most importantly, that phone call with Grammy, which was highly vital. And thank you to Jake Yacovetta for that Streamlabs for getting to her. Glad this show is weird, says Delacommon. Would it ever not be weird? Could it ever not be a weird show? It's just impossible. So anybody who has questions, comments, concerns about Loki, send them in now. I want to know your thoughts. Streamlabs.com/RC Strider. We're about to start spoiling things. So goodbye to all of you guys who haven't seen it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Andrew Thomas says, we're moving to season 2 already, Roxy. Yeah, I skipped season 1 and we're right on season 2. I don't think we're going to have a season 2. Or did they say that we are? Just based on the way that the show is going, I don't know that I'll see that. So you guys know it was hard to talk about the last time because I was in the middle of having to leave to go to that meeting. So I barely even got to talk about, or I talked a little bit about episode 1, but we'll kind of just join everything together because these episodes are really, really intertwined. The first one was more exposition. The second one was more, all right, we're actually out in the field. We're actually doing it. What I really loved to see was how smart Loki is. I thought that the premise of going to places where these natural disasters are taking place and really using that as the way to hide was really smart because, I think we oftentimes forget somebody wrote that. Somebody in a writer's room was like, okay, so where can these variants go? Or where can they go that they're not going to be caught? How would this logistically work? And somebody in the room had to think about this. And I don't know that I would have come up with this. I thought it was a really, really smart idea. And I think that it was very interesting to see. It also kind of makes you hate Loki a little bit because what he's doing is so fucking mean. When he goes to places and he's like, y'all are going to die. It's gonna happen real soon, and I'm just gonna let you guys know that volcano right there, yep, that's gonna kill you. And it doesn't matter that I'm telling you guys because you're all gonna be wiped off the face of the earth anyway. That shit's fucked up, but that's the Loki we kind of know and love, or know and hate. I still don't know. He's still on my shit list, but he's still on my wish list. That's just the fucking truth about it. So I think that was a really smart move and premise. And then just skipping majorly ahead because this is what I'm thinking about and what a lot of you guys are thinking about. I think Lady Loki was a really cool reveal. We all probably knew this was happening, especially because we had seen in the trailers what looked like Black Widow, but was clearly not Black Widow and was probably Lady Loki. Now we have Lady Loki really early on. I don't think they would have done that reveal in the trailer. If Lady Loki was going to come later, I think that, just my fucked up brain immediately. I remember I asked my co-host DJ Woldridge of Only Stupid Answers. I said, DJ, in the comics, is there any precedent for them getting together? He's like, Rox, they're the same person. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I feel like who would Loki want to fuck more than Loki? I know that's fucked up. I know that's fucked up. And that's like more than incestual. Or is it just masturbation? It's really a tricky question. So I was thinking about that, and apparently there is not precedent for that in the comics, but I kind of feel like on this show, Lady Loki and Loki are going to bone. You heard it here first, and I know that's not what matters on the show, and I know that's not what you guys are here for, but that is just what I fucking think about it. I think that she did a really good job, and we didn't see that much of her. And in a short time, I felt very invested in her. So she did a really good job. And I like that she keeps Loki on his toes and he seemingly is kind of keeping her on her toes. And that's a fun dynamic. Ben Rayner says, hey, Roxy, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to mention Superman and Lois was great last night. I haven't seen it yet. No spoilers, but really enjoyed it and love what happened with Lana. Did you see it? No, I will. I will tonight, though. Or in the next couple days when I'm flying to Chicago. I haven't seen it yet. But I'm liking Lana a lot. So I'm interested in what happened there. Andrew Thomas says, hitting the most beautiful party girl, Roxy. Wow, my party girl. I think the TVA has their own secrets, and I might miss World Girls tonight because of work. Ooh. Yeah, the TVA definitely has their own secrets, a ton of their own secrets. I listened to Heavy Spoilers. You guys know I really like that channel. And he still is convinced that Kang is the one who's controlling the TVA and doing all of this and has sent Loki there and all of that stuff. I don't know if that's what's going on. I'm not fully convinced of that, but I do think that there is something going on with the TVA. There's a lot going on with the TVA that we are not aware of, and I'll be interested to find out what those things are because the TVA are fascinating. Those statues were interesting as well, and I want to know more. Christian Hardesty in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, yo, the end of the second episode of Loki was fucking wild. Also, Grammy is a treasure. Yeah, absolutely. There was also things that I didn't notice that Heavy Spoilers pointed out, like how there was a lot of the same imagery at the end as there was in WandaVision and with Agatha, and just some of the same post or same credit things. So I'm interested to see how these shows end up all working together and how this ties into the greater picture of the MCU, especially knowing that Feige said that this is going to be the show that affects the MCU the most. I think we can already kind of start to see how that's happening because in what world are they not fucking with the timeline? By trying to unfuck with the timeline, it feels like they're completely fucking with the timeline. And Loki having to get all the Lokis and the variants and him having to make right what he made wrong while not thinking he made it wrong will be a wild journey. And I think that will really change the future of the MCU. I also like shapeshifters in general on screen. I think it's really fun to see shapeshifters because there's so many actors who get to play the same character and we get to see all their take on it. So it's not just super specific to this episode, but I really love a shapeshifter main character. And not only do we have Loki, but we have Lady Loki, and we've got a bunch of actors who are able to play this mischievous, fucked up, wild cat. Not cat, but you know what I mean? Like you're a cool cat kind of cat. So I like seeing everybody's different take. Owen Wilson is really, really a highlight for me during this. I think that his questioning of Loki in both the first episode and the second episode and his lack of trust, but want to trust, I think he is such a window in like the audience. I think he feels the same way we do, that this guy is kind of a villain and not to be trusted, but also could be useful. And we have to keep him at his arm's length. But, you know, all of the things, I just think he's nailing it. And his presence is just naturally comedic. So I'm really liking this team up and the pairing of Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston being so fucking talented that I think that I could just watch him watch paint dry for sure. So those are some of my thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Chime in about Loki season 1, episode 2, and or anything else, how you think this is going to affect the future of Marvel. Who is your favorite character so far? Where do you think we're going next? I have only seen the first 2 episodes, so now I'm with you guys, and I'll be watching this live every week because it seems like the way that they do it is that they give the critics, even though I'm not a fucking critic, I'm a creator, but they give the people who talk about the shows, they give them either 2 or 3 episodes or whatever it is, and then they don't give them in advance anymore. And so that's where we're kind of at for me. So I have not seen anything else. So I'm with you guys now. Leonard Kim says, hey, Dimple Tits, this is in the Streamlabs. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you had a fun night out and you deserve it. Thank you. The writing on Loki continues to impress and amaze me. Morbius and Miss Minutes are both incredibly endearing, and I can't get enough of either. You know what's so funny is that I keep doing that same thing where I keep calling him Morbius and not Mobius because Morbius is coming out and DJ just called me out for it. So I feel you on that. I can't help but continue to say Morbius. Maybe it's my Boston, me making up for all the R's that I drop that I keep adding it in there. But you, Leonard Kim, you do too. And I feel that. Garth Harkness McMurray in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, look up the Marvel Comics info on Ravonna Renslayer. If you're curious about her, she's Kang's true love in the comics. So my guess is that whether or not the Timekeepers really exist, that Ravonna could still be actually taking orders from her love, Kang. Oh, it seems like that's in line with what Heavy Spoilers was saying too. And Garth, you know a lot more about Marvel and this world than I do. So yeah. John Bainbridge says Mobius, Morbius, Morpheus. Close enough. I know. Mephisto. It's another M. It's not the same, but where he at though? Just kidding. Not opening that Pandora's box. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this episode. I think that they need to really pick up now though, because they have been a little slow. There's not that much action. Not that I would really expect that much action because we're dealing with one of the only super people who really their thing is their mind. I know he's a shapeshifter, but it's not like we know Loki for being super duper like rough and tumble, fight you with his fist. So why would there be a lot of action in a Loki series? I mean like action, like knives and swords and fights and stuff. But I think that there still can be more action. And so people are more excited about the pacing because I do understand and acknowledge that in these 50-something minute episodes, it has been a little slow, which I'm okay with. But some people might dip out a little early. All right. Speaking of which, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I really appreciate your love and support. I will be back with you guys on Saturday. If I can find time to go up sooner, I will, but I don't know that I'll be able to. Wish me luck and fun in Chicago. I'll be live tonight for The World Girls on youtube.com/The World Girls at 6 p.m. Any bit of support in Streamlabs and in the super chat and wherever, I really appreciate. And I'll read all the Streamlabs live in the next show that I go up for. So if you're missing me, and you just want to update me over the next couple of days, then that is where you guys can do it. In the meantime, don't forget to check your internet. You can do this by blowing on it. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those baflooms. Make your bed. All the people who start the day right make their bed in the morning. That's just the truth. Don't trend with the Holocaust. It's a really big one. Brett, Miles, Jonathan, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Stay safe. Stay sane. Join the World Girls tonight. And I'll see you guys live at the Roxy on Saturday. I'll tweet out and Patreon, just reminding you guys.